He's the only one that sees treasure where other people see trash. And this is where it gets personal for everybody. This is where it hits because you have your own worst critic inside you. And when things don't happen the way you thought, or you don't perform the way that you thought you should, or you mess up and you are just down on yourself because, you know what, God calls me to perfection and I wasn't perfect today. Oh my gosh. And maybe it was in your job or in your relationships, or maybe you do have kids and it's in your parenting because you're going to get it a lot more wrong than you will right. You just go, man, this is awful. That's not how God sees us. There's this account that Jesus shares. He shares this story with some people that are listening. It's over in Luke 15. It says, or suppose a woman has 10 silver coins and loses one. Doesn't she light a lamp or sweep the house and search carefully until she finds it? And when she finds it, she calls all her friends and neighbors together and says, rejoice with me. I have found my lost coin. In the same way, I tell you, there is rejoicing in the presence of the angels of God over one sinner who repents. Over the Joes who sit in an apartment and go, I started addiction here, but God led me back here. But those moments of doubt, of feeling like you are not good enough, like maybe you never thought trash, but you thought I'm not good enough, it's in those moments where God is looking at you and I'm saying, I love you, you are valued, there is more for you. And if we've learned anything over the last few years is the vitriol and hurt and just, throwing insults and harm at one another. I look back on the last few years and I see the people that soared. And it was the people who loved Jesus, who said, I'm going to rise above this. Even though I doubt sometimes that it will go the way I thought, I'm going to trust him. And even when I doubt that I'm good enough, God still loves me. I know what is true. And so maybe for you and I, as we look at this man named Jesus and we ask ourselves, why should it matter? Why should Jesus matter to us even when we have doubts? Even when we feel like we're not good enough, like maybe he's not there for us, like maybe he's not reliable, maybe you doubt he's even real. Why should Jesus matter over 2,000 years later, even when you doubt? Well, it's because you matter to Jesus. The reason he should matter to you 2,000 years later, even in the middle of your plight, is because he matters to you. And you matter to him. When we see this beautiful work that Jesus does, we're able to step back and go, all right, God, thank you. God, I love you. God, I'll still have doubts, but my doubts won't derail your work. And your saving grace covers me, covers you. You guys online, it covers you. And so we step in with all of our skepticism and doubt and say yes to him because he says yes for us. We don't have to be all together to approach him. We just have to be available.